A huge win here for the Reds. Maka, what did you think about the performance, the manner in which they won the game tonight?
I thought they won quite comfortably in the end. I don't think it was a vintage Liverpool performance. I've seen better performances from them. But what was the most important thing about today was just purely the result. International break, 2 weeks that they're going to be away from each other. They've had 3 games in a week, 3 tough games in a week, Brighton, Leverkusen and this. It was just about performing better than the opposition, getting the victory, particularly with results and fixtures tomorrow, where closest rivals are playing each other, and then they move forward, and that's what I said early on. You don't need them to be fantastic every game. They just need to be resilient, and they need to get the 3 points.
Are there positives for Aston Villa to take tonight? Alan, did you see an improvement in their performance levels?
Yeah, I think so. I think their shape looked good. Defensively, they looked strong at times. They had a couple of opportunities from corner kicks. Where I think they were a little bit naive was the breakaways. I think the 2 goals, when you really break it down and look at them, it's not great. They should have had somebody back there defending it, possibly couldn't have. It wouldn't have happened. Diego Carlos can not just be as cute and just try and put the ball out of play. So, yes, positives to be taken.
Well, let's look at that first Liverpool goal, Maka, because it came from, as Alan said, a breakaway, a rapid counter-attack, wasn't it, from a Villa corner?
Yeah, and it's not as if Liverpool have done this before, but the setup for the corner was just naive at times, really high, and Luca Dean just gets caught between going across to the ball or running backwards. I mean, the first thing you should do is just get back towards the halfway line. But once Liverpool break, I mean, Darwin Núñez, it's a big first touch, and actually he finishes it really, really well. But this is, it's just an awful goal to concede, as Alan said. The set-piece man, the Unai Emery, you'll sit and think, how have we lost today? And it's just fallen asleep at times like this.
You generally can't. You can't mark that way. You have to have somebody in the halfway line, and to have 2 of the quickest players on the pitch, and Salah and Diaz running you down against Leon Bailey and Digne, it just can't happen. It's old school. I know. You have somebody on the halfway line, mops everything up. That doesn't happen. You've got a body there to then go and clear it. They didn't learn until the 3rd corner.
It
happened again, and then they brought Konsa back. So, look, you need to learn at this level quickly.
Thing is, if you're on the halfway line, you can step forward. But if you're on the edge of the box, you can't go that way, because Liverpool have got quicker players from you. So it'll be incredibly frustrating for the manager to concede in that way.
An assist for Mo Salah there. He got a goal as well tonight. He's just razor sharp at the moment, but it came from another breakaway.
Yes, and it came from an Aston Villa throw-in. How can Liverpool score from there? If you're looking at the highlights, you're thinking, Aston Villa must be going to score. But no. And again, this is awful. Diego Carlos just trying to be too cute, too clever. Konsa tries to get back, but in the end switches and goes, you know what, I'll mark the goal. And you can't let Mo Salah run into the 6-yard box with a goalie to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I think it gets to a time there where Konsa needs to make his mind up and say, do you know what, I'm just going to go for Salah. I'm going to try and block the ball. I'm not going to let him the opportunity go. If he does, and he's got the ability to do it, then you hold your hands up, and it's no problem.
If he puts it on a play for one of the 2 Liverpool players in the box, fine. But the most lethal marksman around, you can't let him do that.
And Arne Slot has just come out to join us. Congratulations, Arne. We were just looking at the second goal there. Mo Salah, an assist for the first one. Another goal. He's just on fire at the moment. It must be a joy for you.
Yeah, he definitely is. I think he has the best numbers from all of our attackers. All of our attackers have great numbers, but Mo stands out in that aspect. But apart from the numbers our forwards have, let's not forget the defensive run Lucio Diaz made to make sure we could have kept a clean sheet.
Absolutely, a clean sheet, another win, 5-point table. What did you feel overall about the manner in which you won the game tonight?
It wasn't easy, like most of our games has been till now, but that's normal if you play Premier League, especially against a good team like Aston Villa. They were maybe not as aggressive as we thought. They just waited. And we were patient, although sometimes I felt we were still not patient enough, because the few times they threatened us was from a counter-attack where we lost the ball in midfield, or, of course, one thing they are very, very, very good at as well, their set pieces. But in general, I think we had control over the game and scored, which you wouldn't expect maybe from all this possession from 2 counter-attacks.
Did you feel, sorry. On you go.
I was going to say, did you expect to get those opportunities tonight from Aston Villa from counter-attacks?
Have you seen them do that before at corners? Come right
so
up to the edge of the box.
You mean Villa or us?
Yes, Villa.
Oh.
But there was nobody on the halfway line, no protection.
No. I think when it comes to set pieces, that's an aspect the assistant coaches do a lot. So I'm mostly looking at, how do they press, how do they build up? But the set pieces are for someone else, although I'm involved, but for someone else. So the only thing I do know is that Liverpool, it's not the first time we score, they score, because a lot of times I wasn't there yet. From
breaks like that.
From breaks like that, because we have players that are so fast on the counter attack. So it was good to see that we scored too from.
And how happy were you to see Darwin get on the score sheet today?
Yeah, happy. I wondered what would have happened if he wasn't there, because Mo was, in my opinion, he was through on goal.
Yeah, he was brought down. Yeah.
And it felt to me that the referee.
Well, he waves his hands away.
As if it wasn't a
foul. It would have
foul.
gone to VAR and they may have had a look at it.
Maybe.
He was chasing the referee, you see.
But in general, with VAR, it's like, okay, if the referee didn't blow his whistle, then 9 out of 10 times the decision on the pitch stays. So, but Darwin was there and he scored. It was good for him, because I think as a striker you always want to score. And with players around him that score so many goals, it's always nice if you're a striker, if it's Jota or if it's Darwin, that they also are on the score sheet.
So the message at half-time to be patient, be a little bit more patient, because Villa didn't necessarily jump out at you and then it would just move the ball around to create opportunities.
No, they didn't jump out at all, I would say. Even when 1-0 down, they just stayed, they waited, let's put it that way. And I think the first half, every time we got the ball on the left, we stayed on the left, and if you got the ball on the right, we stayed on the right. And if you want to hurt a team like this, you have to switch the play much more than we did. And maybe in pressing the goal kick, we were outplayed a few times, in my opinion, too easy. So we said that we have to do this better, and especially on the ball, we were more patient than we were the first half.
Crackers to come on Sunday as well, but today we've brought you Brentford coming from behind to beat Bournemouth 3-2. They have the best home record in the Premier League, Thomas Frank's side. Fulham, 2 wins in a week, 2-0 at Crystal Palace. No goals between West Ham and Everton. Huge win for Wolves, their first of the season against Southampton by 2-0 at Molineux. For the first time in Pep Guardiola's managerial career, he has lost 4 games in a row. Back-to-back Premier League defeats for the champions, beaten 2-1 by Brighton, having been a goal to the good, and Liverpool beating Villa 2-0. So on Sunday, we'll bring you Manchester United-Leicester. That's the last game, of course, under Ruud van Nistelrooy before Ruben Amorim takes charge. We'll keep you up to date with Newcastle at Forest, Spurs at home to Ipswich, and then the London derby at Stamford Bridge as Arsenal go to Chelsea. So Ipswich Town are now the only side yet to win in the Premier League this season. They can change that at Spurs, of course, on Sunday. But Wolves' win lifts them off the bottom, up to 6 points. Southampton now propping the table up, and Palace just a point above the drop zone. And there's the screenshot for the Liverpool fans heading into the international break. Played 11, won 9, only 1 defeat, 5 points clear of Manchester City, and Arsenal, of course, if they were to lose to Chelsea tomorrow, would suddenly be 10 off Liverpool, 11 games in. Villa stay in 8th position.
Congratulations, Alexis, on a win that takes Liverpool 5 points clear at the top of the table heading into this international break. How significant does that feel?
Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely a very big win against a very good team. I think we dominated the game. We played a very good game. The goals came in counter-attacks, but I think overall the team played a very good game. So we are happy with it. We know that, as you said, we are top of the league, but there is still a lot of games, so we take it step by step.
As a former Brighton player, your old club, did you a bit of a favour coming into this game? Did you know the result before your game kicked off?
Yeah, I did know. We were watching the game. Happy for Brighton. As you know, I have a very special feeling for them. I'm really grateful. And at the same time, they are in a very good moment. They won against one of the best teams in the world right now. So happy for them, but we are not thinking about other teams. We just focus on ourselves.
I know you'll say it's early in the season, but does it feel like you've got a real hold of this title race now?
Yes, of course. If you're top of the league, 5 points ahead, then it means something. But as I said, I think we have to go step by step. If you asked me before the season started, I wouldn't say that we were candidates, but now looks like. So we are gonna keep working and try to keep getting better.
And when you have a player in your team like Mo Salah, it's quite incredible, isn't it? He already has 20 goal involvements this season alone. What is it like to have a teammate like him?
Yeah, he's so good and so important for this team. I think we all know, not just for the team, for the club as well. He's a legend here, so happy for him. And yes, when you have him, you know that he's gonna deliver. He's gonna get the numbers. So yeah, we're happy that he's playing for us.
Congratulations and well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
What a day for him. Liverpool winning and Brighton winning and Manchester City losing. Doesn't get much better for Alexis McAllister personally today. But as he was saying there, candidates, I think, is a little modest because Liverpool lead the table by 5 points after today's defeat for Manchester City and their victory at Anfield. 15 in 17 in all competitions under Arne Slot. He was quite honest there when he said before a ball was kicked, we weren't considered to be title favourites, but we're candidates now. I mean, it is only 11 in, but 5 clear at this stage?
Well, they were always candidates, of course. I think most people fancy Manchester City to start the season.
Were they most people's third favourites, fair to say?
I would say third favourites, yeah. Then a lot of people thought Arsenal. And then I think
Who did you two tip, by the way?
I thought Arsenal might have a strong season this season.
Yeah, I was with Martin. Arsenal would win it,
Yeah. Me and him were the two pundits that went Arsenal. Everyone else went Manchester
Long
City.
season, long way
Nobody
to
said
go.
Liverpool. Nobody that I know of, anyway. But they haven't won it yet. As you know, Steve, it's still early on. Manchester City, Arsenal can both go on brilliant runs, as can other teams as well. But what a lovely position to be in. I mean, that many points ahead already. And more importantly, other teams wobbling. You know, you'd never like to see players injured, but of course, you know, Manchester City with Rodri out for the majority of the season, a few problems off the pitch. They've got a smallish squad, and if you get a few injuries to the squad, then it can be a problem. That's what's happening at the moment. And by the time they shake themselves down and get back on the straight and narrow, it might be gone if they continue in this form. You know, Liverpool might be 10 points ahead by Christmas. So you never know, but I mean, at this stage of the season, Liverpool are pinching themselves, thinking, you know, their two main challenges are both faltering at the moment.
And let's point out, we are concerned, obviously, with the Premier League, but Liverpool at the moment, as we sit here, are top of the Premier League and the Champions League. I mean, talk about combining the two fronts with a new manager following Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much faultless. Really worried about Liverpool and Arne Slot coming in because a lot was made of the way Jurgen Klopp played football. But Arne Slot was coming into a very good team. I mean, you're talking about Allister, one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Van Dijk, one of the best centre-backs. Trent's probably the most technically gifted fullback we've ever seen in Premier League history. You've got Salah, one of the greats. So I almost felt like him coming into this Liverpool side wasn't going to be a massive change. All he's had to do is tweak one or two small things, but the team almost picks itself. So the fact that Liverpool are kind of pushing and look like they are probably one of the favourites for the Premier League, it doesn't really surprise me. Yes, I thought Manchester City would be better, and I didn't think they'd lose Rodri, which is unfortunate. I thought Arsenal would look better, but the Odegaard situation and one or two decision-makings, maybe the pressure's getting to Arsenal a little bit. But I always felt Liverpool would be in the mix. Now, yes, they've been pretty much faultless. I still don't think we've seen them play to their absolute maximum yet. But, again, if you're a Liverpool fan, that's got to be a positive, right? You're 5 points clear and you're still probably at, I'd say, 90%. I still think there's a little bit extra. I think the Brighton game, I think last weekend they gave them problems. I think Villa, a couple of set plays, Kelleher pulled them out a little bit. So, as good as Liverpool have been, and they have been fantastic, I still think there's a little bit more room for improvement.
Much to discuss at half-time. Liverpool leading Aston Villa by a 1-0 at Anfield, scored by Darwin Núñez. Let's get straight into it then, Michael, because that was 20 minutes in for Darwin Núñez, marking his 100th Liverpool appearance.
Yeah, it was quite an action-packed first half, wasn't it? Quite a lot of, you know, talking points and obviously a goal. Actually, ironically, came from an Aston Villa corner. How many times do we see this nowadays? This ball by Virgil van Dijk didn't have to be precise, just played it into the space. The referee plays a great advantage. I'm pretty sure that would have been a red card and a free kick for Liverpool. However, the advantage gives them the goal. It's a lovely finish as well from Darwin Núñez. 3 against 2, though, Benty.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a really good. I mean, Mo Salah being at the heart of it as well. And this touch, I wondered if it was a bit heavy, but he managed to keep his composure because he goes really wide. And to be fair, Martinez, the goalkeeper, doesn't really react because the touch is quite wide. And you think, oh, there's a lot to do. He's pretty much going away from goal. Yeah. But to lift it in that last moment as Martinez is going down, it's a really, really good finish.
That's the difference, isn't it? The lift. I mean, because Martinez, he reads it. He knows what he's trying to do.
But that bit of lift, if he goes low, then he saves that. So it was a lovely finish. An instinctive finish. I quite like Nunez in front of goal when he's instinctive.
Yeah.
I don't really like him in front of goal or rate him in front of goal when he's got to think about it. And we had one of those later on.
Talking of which, Villa didn't learn their lesson because they were nearly caught from another corner. Should he score this? Does he have to score this?
Yeah, he has to. I mean, or at least work the goalkeeper. Yes, he should score because he's a centre-forward, but in that scenario there, Michael, he's got to hit the target.
Another Villa corner. Incredible, isn't it? They didn't learn from their first mistake, but I just watched this carefully on the replays, and the ball is spinning totally the wrong way. He should be wrapping his foot round it, so the ball should be going right to left. And when you see this, but watch the ball, it's sort of almost spinning away. The spin is going away from goal, and that's just not the shape. I just don't know what he tries to. When he has time to think, I think he just gets all confused and he just doesn't quite know how to do it and what to do. But because the first touch was lovely, the second touch presented it beautifully. He couldn't have got into a better position from where he took his first touch. He did everything perfect. And then you think, right, OK, you've maximised your opportunity here. You've got the best chance, because that's brilliant. That's great as well. And he's at the perfect distance out, and then almost sort of... It's not a miss kick.
It's like a shank. Like...
the ball shouldn't be going that way away from goal. And you see the ball spinning that way, that tells me it's just wrong. And I didn't see it bobble. It's just a wrong technique. I don't know what he's trying to do.
OK, if that's clear-cut, what about Aston Villa's claims for a penalty, Konate on Watkins? What did you think?
So I thought it was a penalty. I think Watkins does really well, isolates him out wide, drops a couple of step-overs, and to me it looks like he goes past him. Now, the only thing you could say is maybe the dive is a little bit theatrical, and his reaction after going down maybe tells you that he thought it wasn't a penalty. But if you look here, it's Konate, Michael, that steps across Watkins. I thought it was a penalty. If they'd have given it on the pitch, I would have said... no argument from me. The fact they don't, and then they give the foul the other way, I can't work that out.
Yeah, it's a close one, isn't it? Konate does step across. I don't know why he just doesn't toe it out because he's definitely ahead of him at that point. He can definitely toe it out there, but he decides to put his leg across Watkins instead. I don't know why the foul is the other way. I don't get that. Whether it's play on or whether it's a penalty.
Are you both happy VAR say that isn't a clear and obvious error?
Absolutely. VAR, stay out of that. That is a debatable one. I'm still not sure now. So I'm more than happy with VAR in the stance that they took. If I had to say, I'd probably say I'm 60-40 that it could have been a penalty, yeah. But it's a close one. I just don't know why... Like, if they both run alongside the ball and keep their line, then that's fine. But Konate actually encroaches on his line and he puts his foot across him there. And that leans me to think maybe just on the side of it could be a penalty. But I do agree with Darren. I don't know why. Your reaction says everything. And when he jumps up, Ollie Watkins, I think the referee all of a sudden thinks, well, he's not appealing for it.
So as a striker, what should he do there, then?
Probably egg it on a little bit more. You coaxed that out of me, you bad man.
And you're not disagreeing with him.
You're asking the wrong people.
Right then, 1-0 Liverpool, no penalty to Aston Villa.
Yeah, it's been a brilliantly entertaining first half at Anfield with Liverpool 1-0 up. Steve McManaman and Alan Hutton watching with me, and it's been a tale of 4 corners, but we have all 4 corners covered. Alan, firstly, how did Liverpool score from a Villa corner?
Well, I mean, that's the big question mark over the whole situation. I just really feel from a defending point